you know how when people first, we really focus on self-determination and on leadership and advocacy, and we talk a lot about taking personal responsibility for those things? Well, a couple of years ago, we started realizing if we didn't have good health, we couldn't be good leaders and participate in our communities. And so we started our program called Healthy for Life. And one of the first topics that we picked was diabetes, because so many of our members now have diabetes and are dealing with that every day. So let's just talk about the beginning of diabetes, the journey for diabetes in our lives. And I'll start because I was, a lot younger, and my son was 9 years old when he was diagnosed with type 1 or juvenile diabetes. And we were scared to death. Risa knows that because she was one of the first people I called. And we didn't know really what we were facing. And the nurses at the hospital, we talked about high blood sugar, low blood sugar, comas, all those things. And the first night we took Craig home, I thought he was going to die. I didn't sleep a wink because I just knew that his blood sugar was going to go so low or so high that we'd lose our boy. Thankfully, I was all wrong. And I learned that we can live with high and low blood sugar. But the more we can keep him in the right range, the healthier we are. So that was my journey with learning about diabetes to begin with. Do you have a story, Lisa, you'd like to share?
Yes, my mom went to high school with a lady whose daughter had the same type of juvenile diabetes as your son did, but Jamie went into diabetic coma. She went into diabetic coma maybe 4 or 5 times in her lifetime. Now she's living a productive life. She's married, she has a daughter, but she still has to watch it.
So do you know how come she went into her diabetic comas?
Because she was going, and not being on a schedule like she should have been. And like the doctors told her, you need to be on a more strict schedule. And she went into denial about that.
It's real hard, especially when you're young and an active young person, to go on a schedule and to eat at the right time and the right things. Do you have a story, Jeanette?
Yeah, my mom had juvenile diabetes, and they didn't catch it until we moved up here. And 8 years ago, she had gangrene from her foot and worked up. She had an operation, and I think the operation killed her.
Okay. And that's called gangrene. Gangrene because it's an infection, an open sore, and especially when you have diabetes, your circulation is really affected. And so then you're right, so that probably was what killed her, then was the infection. So how did you feel about that, or do you have any other personal perspective on diabetes?
Yeah, I got borderline diabetes now, and I feel tired and overwhelmed sometimes, and I try to take care of it, activities, exercise, eat right, healthy food.
And the one thing that we're realizing is so many of our members now have diabetes, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And we really need to help each other to stay healthy. And so that's what we're going to share with the rest of our videos, is talk about how we can stay healthy and become good, strong citizens in our community.